I set out with a goal to do this laundry room makeover for under $300. I've lived in this house for over 5 years and I've not touched anything in this room since then. My goal with this laundry room was to do a complete overhaul, to completely renovate this laundry room. I want it to feel brighter and larger than it really is. Using PicMonkey, I created this mock-up to be able to get a visual of what I wanted my laundry room to look like. So getting started, there were these odd cabinets that were placed on either side of the window in my laundry room. They were connected by this piece of trim that ran across the ceiling between the two. Several months ago, I bought a new washer and dryer off of Facebook Marketplace that both came with a stand, and I didn't realize that neither one of them would fit in here underneath these cabinets. So the first thing that had to happen was these cabinets had to go. After removing the cabinets, I primed the walls with 2 coats of Zinsser water-based primer. Where the wall was stained with wood stain behind where the cabinets had been, I did add a 3rd layer of primer just to give myself an even base. And then after I got the walls primed, I swatched 10 Sherwin Williams white paints to figure out which one I wanted to use in this room. I ended up deciding on the color alabaster, but I'm not going to paint the walls until I get this next project done because it's going to be really messy. I did 3 tutorials leading up to this makeover, and if you've already seen those, I'll leave the time up on the screen that you can skip ahead to. First, I removed the popcorn texture, then I patched, sanded, primed, and painted the ceiling in here. When I was done with the ceiling, I went ahead and painted the walls with 2 coats of alabaster. When I was done painting, I got started on removing the ceramic tile and the thin set from the concrete floor. Once I had the ceramic tile and the thin set removed, I cleaned the concrete floors thoroughly and then I installed the peel and stick flooring. I picked up this 3.5-inch wide MDF board to use to replace the trim in this laundry room. Instead of cutting the trim at that traditional angle, I just cut each piece to the width of the wall. After cutting one piece, I would fit it in place, then measure the next and cut it to fit that wall. After each piece was in place, I took a nail gun and I secured them to the baseboards that run along the bottom of the wall behind the drywall. Then I added another nail higher up on the trim where the studs and the door frames are. Once I had them all nailed in place, I used painter's caulk and I sealed along the top of the wall and along the seams where the boards met. Then I used wood putty to cover the nail holes and smooth out the surface. After the wood putty and the painter's caulk dried, I added 2 coats of bright white trim paint. At this point, the ceiling and the walls and the flooring and the trim is all done and everything is looking amazing. So I could go ahead and move in my new washer and dryer and start finishing everything up. I decided to build a countertop to place above the washer and dryer. I want a place that I can set some of the necessities that we use in this laundry room every day on top of, as well as a few decorative items. After I got the countertop installed, I installed this shelf with this clothing rod above the window that's on the wall behind the washer and dryer. I bought these brackets off of a store on Etsy, and I'm really glad that I splurged a little bit on these. They're extremely heavy duty and they add just the slightest touch of industrial to this laundry room. Also, I'm really glad that I decided to use a natural finish on the shelf and the countertop. I love the way that light natural wood looks in here, especially against that neutral flooring. It just turned out gorgeous. The great thing about this light fixture is that it's got the same light wooden tone as the shelf and the countertop, but it also has that gold finish on the inside of the chandelier, which will be more cohesive with the gold finishes throughout my home. The only thing I changed about this light fixture was the string with the beads that were hanging off of it originally. It just wasn't quite my taste, so I just cut the string loose that the beads were attached to the chandelier by. The light fixture was the last major piece of the renovation, so now that all of that is done, I can get all of my storage organized and put out all of my decor. You guys, I'm obsessed with how this laundry room turned out. I love every square inch of it. I don't think there's a single thing that I would have gone back and done differently. I'll leave the full list of supplies and decor down in the description box for everything that I used in this laundry room makeover. There will also be a link to my blog post, which includes all of the specifics on this makeover and all of the links to everything as well. Now that the laundry room makeover is done, I sat down to tally up all of my expenses. I ended up spending $253.30 on the total renovation costs. That included the flooring, the light fixture, the shelves and brackets and countertop and all of that major stuff. But then I spent $141.39 on decor. That was the canisters and the baskets and the artwork and the frames and all of that stuff. So in the end, I ended up going over budget. I spent $394.69, but I will say this could have easily been done for under $300 if I had paid closer attention to how much I was spending on the decor for this room. That being said, I'm still pretty proud of the job that I did in here, and I'm still kind of impressed that I was able to accomplish this for under $400. Comment down below and let me know what you guys thought of this makeover. And if you're not subscribed already, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss any future content on this channel. And I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you next time.